Welcome, nerds, to the TV news. That's a little ambiguous, don't you think? This is a clip that is taken from the larger Week in Nerddom that gets posted up on the main YouTube channel at Generally Nerdy, or youtube.com/Generally Nerdy, however you have to go about it. This section of the news, we're talking about TV shows and episodic shows on streaming networks. I'm still working out a way to say that isn't such a mouthful. Either way, it's going to be TV shows, right? That's how this works. And so let's just get into it, shall we? All right, so let's talk now about TV streaming and things, right? I mean, we do still have news here, even though there's a strike going on. So in TV this week, we have some pretty epic casting announcements. One of them we've been keeping tabs on for some time because legal things are what took the original actor away from the role. And then we also have a major announcement. If you're an anime fan, we're going to get to that at the end. So stick around, let's do the things. Yeah. First up in follow-ups and corrections, Stranger Things Season 5 just announced that they are going to be that they have cast Linda Hamilton in an undisclosed role, but come on, man. Sarah Connor is in Stranger Things now. What kind of awesome alternate reality do we live in? This is just gonna be great. I don't know what else to say. Let's move on. From there, we have casting announcements from Knuckles, the Max series coming very soon. The cast, from what I understand, this is the complete cast, though there could be some additions shortly hereafter. So first we have Edie Patterson, Kid Cudi, Ellie Taylor, Rory McCann, Christopher Lloyd, Carrie Elwes, Paul Scheer, and Stockard Channing. Oh, and Rob Hubel. I don't know who Rob Hubel is, but I know most of the other names, and that's a pretty star-filled cast right there. No word as to exactly which roles any of these people are going to be playing, which of them are going to be just doing voices for characters that are CG, and which of them are going to be showing up in, you know, their body, because it's technically a live action series. So pretty awesome. That's all we got though. So let's move right along. Next up is the other big one, and this has to do specifically with solar opposites, but it is Justin Roiland. His role has been recast, I guess is the best way to put that. Justin Roiland's role has been recast, but they put Dan Stevens as his voice replacement for the Solar Opposites series. So if you don't know, Dan Stevens is very British. If you know the name but you don't know exactly why, Dan Stevens played Legion on FX. He's done a number of other things, but like as far as nerd culture goes, that's kind of the biggest one. And also phenomenal. If you haven't watched Legion, what are you doing? Go watch that. It's great. But yeah, so Dan Stevens is going to be the replacement for Justin Roiland. Justin Roiland's not British. Dan Stevens is very, and if you go follow the link in the description, you'll see that they explain it, but like, it's a little ridiculous. So from there, we have an update on Tiny Toons Looniversity, a series we talked about when it was announced a few weeks back. We now have a rough release window. Sometime September is what they're going for the release of this new animated series based on the 90s animated series from when, you know, people in my rough age range were kids. That's all we got, just September, no specific date yet. So when they set the specific date, we will talk about it again. From there, real quick announcement, FUBAR, the new Arnold Schwarzenegger series, has been announced to be getting a second season on Netflix, though beyond that, don't hold your breath because Netflix doesn't like to go much past 2 seasons, right? And then our final piece of follow-up information is actually kind of heartbreaking in that I was super looking forward to this show, and it's been canceled before they even shot a single frame of footage, and that is Metropolis. The series that was going to be based on the classic sci-fi black and white silent movie Metropolis has been canceled in pre-production. It seems the writer's strike and there were a number of other not great reasons listed. Primarily the writer's strike is what killed this, and it sucks, and it kind of is what it is. So from there, we do have a pretty substantial laundry list of trailers to talk about. We don't have a whole lot in regular news, but trailers, we've got a bit. So first up, we got the first teaser for the One Piece series, One Piece on Netflix, August 31st, live action adaptation. looks like, so far, very cautiously optimistic. Looks like they're gonna do right by the fandom of One Piece. So maybe Netflix is turning a quarter. I don't think so, though. From there, we have a new trailer for What We Do in the Shadows. Next season launches July 13th. I believe this is season 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's What We Do in the Shadows. This is just hilarious. From there, we have another trailer for The Boys, another teaser for The Boys dealing with Homelander. Now it seems Homelander is going to be going to court. The Boys, I didn't write down the release date for it because we all already know it at this point. Yeah, whatever. Moving on. Next up, we got a very, very short tease of the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon series that is going to be happening soon. Still no proper release date, but we do have at least a little bit of footage. It's only like, I think the trailer is, or the teaser rather, is less than a minute long. Maybe even right about 20 seconds if I'm remembering this correctly, but still just enough to keep you excited. From there, we're talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Just a real quick, no actors in it tease, though if you do follow them on the Twitter, then you know you've seen pictures of the actors who are going to be playing the roles. Looks okay, but looks can be deceiving. So from there, let's talk Squid Game Season 2 casting trailer. I think I saw somebody from J-pop. I don't even know. I got it. It's Squid Game Season 2. Yeah, who's not gonna watch that? Go watch the trailer, it's pretty cool. And then from there we have the interesting part for the trailers section, and this has to do with a new series that is going to feature and or star Ryan Reynolds. The name of the series is Bedtime Stories with Ryan. It is going to be going to Fubo. So Fubo is a free streaming platform. Fubo, I believe, is owned by Fox. Again, this is basically the digital streaming version of basic cable from back in the day, from before streaming was a thing. You know, basic cable, TNT, TBS, FX, and that kind of stuff. They would get the rights once a movie had been released for so long, it had been on VHS or home release, DVD, whatever, for so long. They would get the rights to play it on their broadcast channel for a small fee, and then they would play commercials during it. And that's kind of, you know, the cycle. They pay a little bit of money to get the movie, and then they make a lot of money based on the fact that people won't turn it off because it's a movie they like or whatever, and then commercials play, and so the ad people pay the channel for playing their ads, and it's a cycle, right? So that's kind of how this is working with streaming these days. So there is this, the reason I laid that out is because Fubo is getting a channel that is going to be focusing on stuff from Ryan Reynolds' production company called Maximum Effort. And Fubo is not the only free streamer that is going to be getting a Maximum Effort channel. It's just the first one. No specific release date as to when the other streamers are going to be getting their Maximum Effort channels, but June 20th is the day, so today, as I'm filming this, is the day that Fubo is getting their free Maximum Effort channel, which is going to feature this show, Bedtime Stories with Ryan. And the trailer that this, like, I don't know, watch it and let me know if it kind of weirds you out as well. But like, it's kind of sweet and maybe a little heartwarming and just a tad bit goofy until the end. And then the voiceover from Ryan Reynolds says something along the lines of, "Don't go to sleep." But like, it's called Bedtime Stories. And that's kind of the so I don't know what the premise really is. I do know it's going to be anthological in nature, so each episode is going to be a standalone, but beyond that, kind of could go any direction, right? So go check out the trailer. Let's talk about that, what you think this is going to be down in the description. That's what we got for trailers. Let's talk about the regular ass piece of news, and that is Demon Slayer 4th season announced as of the ending of the 3rd season. That's right, there is going to be a 4th season. The significant part about this announcement is that the arc they're going to be adapting from the manga for the anime is going to be the Hashira Training arc. which apparently means something to fans of the series. I have not gotten into Demon Slayer yet. It's on my list of animes to watch, I just haven't gotten there. So that's all I got for regular ass news. So let's talk about TV suggestions for the week. Our TV suggestion is Black Mirror, the most recent season. I believe it was 6. I didn't write it in the notes because I take amazing notes, but yeah. This is a mild recommend because there are 2 of the 5 episodes I feel like Black Mirror episodes. The rest of them are something different. That's not to say that they're bad, it's just to say they're different. So if you haven't watched it yet, definitely go watch. If you haven't watched any of the previous Black Mirror, before you watch the new season, at the very least, you need to watch seasons 1 and 2. Beyond that, you'll have the idea of what Black Mirror is, and then it kind of stays with that idea until this season. So yeah, very interesting juxtaposition. Still kind of riding the fence as to how much I appreciate it, but it's kind of like pizza. Even a bad Black Mirror season is better than, you know, most other things. So I would rather take bad pizza over good liver and onions any day, right? So an interesting situation with the Black Mirror, but still quality television. So that is your suggestion for the week. Once again, nerds, this has been the TV and streaming news for the week, taken from the main show, The Week in Nerddom, which is posted on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Thank you for joining me here, nerds. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.